Welcome, everyone, to the Pint and Click podcast. My name is Caleb.
And my name is Greg.
And we are going to talk about your favorite video games. So grab a pint of your favorite drink, find a nice comfy chair, grab your bullwhip and fedora while we dive into this.
Of course, that being a reference to
Nathan Drake, Uncharted.
Who's also a reference to
Nathan Drake, Uncharted.
Indiana
Oh,
Jones.
sorry, Tom Holland.
Oh, no, Caleb. I have to go. I have to leave. Caleb, we're fastly approaching episode 20.
We are. Are we doing something special for it?
Probably not.
Okay.
But.
Good to know.
But it got me thinking. There are children in this world younger than our podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
So I wanted to know, because as good podcast parents, you and I, we need to be ready to know what to do at the 20-week mark. You know, once our baby turns 5 months, what's it going to be like?
Yep.
So, at 20 weeks, Caleb, the Pint and Click podcast should be getting ready to sit up without any help.
Wow, this is a real creepy segment you're doing. That's good. That's good. I'm glad that it can do that.
Don't worry, though. It'll also begin sleeping through the night.
Okay. What are we doing here? All right. I need to go out to get a pack of cigarettes.
Wow, Caleb.
I'll be back. Don't worry.
You just made that very dark. And I have to go now.
To also get a pack of cigarettes.
Also get a pack of cigarettes. Pint and Click podcast next week's going to be an hour and a half of silence.
Yeah.
Caleb, how you doing?
I'll tell you how I'm doing, Greg. Decently. I'm doing decently.
Right.
I'm living.
Yep.
I'm alive.
Yep.
Yep, I'm here.
Yep. Rainy this weekend. Rainy today.
Yeah. It is a rainy day.
Problem with it, though, is I was still busy all weekend. Barely had time for video games.
Oh, that's not good.
But have you had any time for video games, my good friend?
Well, I mean, yeah, but not. Honestly, busy weekend. Busy weekend.
Yeah.
Attended a friend's wedding.
Oh, wow.
So
Wasn't
that was
me.
Something. It was not you, no.
It was not my wedding. We had different busy plans over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, and then yesterday was my dad's birthday.
Who cares?
We had some nice crepes, a little family get together with some crepes.
Nice family crepes.
Nice family crepes. It was
Very
a good time.
Very good.
Yeah. So pretty busy weekend.
Yeah.
I did sneak in a little bit of game time though.
You know the only thing I did this weekend that would be remotely exciting for this podcast?
Huh.
Is I watched the new Wes Anderson film.
Oh.
Asteroid City. Have you heard of this film?
No, but I feel like I've seen enough of those Wes Anderson TikToks to satisfy. So
It was an interesting movie.
Okay.
I liked it. Was very colorful and vibrant and purposely styled that way, and
oh yes,
made me want to kind of dig deeper into Wes Anderson's catalog.
Nice.
You know me, I'm into vibrant colors and stylized movies.
That's true. That's a thing we know about you.
You know who else is into vibrant colors? 20-week-old babies.
Okay. Oh, I think we're out of milk.
I think we're out of time. Yeah. Anyway, well, it's been a good podcast. We'll talk to you later.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So I played a couple games this week. I'm not proud to admit, but I also am, because fuck you, it's still a good game, you know. But I dipped back into some Skyrim.
Well, that's good, Caleb.
Oh.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. It was pretty decent. I dipped back in. I did some of the quests that I've never really done before, so that was kind of neat. I've been having fun. Skyrim on the PS5 is a game that I think it's fun to just hop on every now and then and do a quest or two. I don't play it for days and days. But to hop on, do a couple quests, and then hop off, and then repeat in like a few weeks or something, gives me a good fill of Skyrim, while also not devoting my whole day to playing it.
Yeah. Skyrim's one of those games that I keep telling myself I'm going to go back to. I've only ever played it for any substantial amount of time once, and that was in 2020. I'd like to go back and try some different things, do some different stuff,
Dude, it's a good time. Yeah. And if you play with different like play styles and stuff, like I'm never like a rogue character in any kind of game I play. Never.
It's because you're one in real life, so.
Oh, okay.
You're a rogue gentleman.
Why, thank you, dapper lad.
Yep, absolutely.
So I've been trying to do like a little bit of a rogue playthrough and use like knives, and I didn't even know that there was perks to have like backstab and stuff to make it so like you can insta kill people when you sneak up and attack them. I didn't even know that shit existed in Skyrim until literally a couple days ago playing it.
Are you sure you're not playing Elder Scrolls, Elden Ring?
Elder, yeah, there you go. You got there eventually.
Got there.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's tons of shit to figure out. So I've been playing that, and then the other thing that I've kind of started dabbling in, I've been in Brendan and I have been craving some like good multiplayer games to just kind of hop on and just kind of fuck around in. So we started playing No Man's Sky. And you know what? They changed the game a lot. It is not like it's not like it was at launch.
No, for sure.
And it's a decent time with friends, especially. I've played it a lot solo, and like, man, at any given time, I can't put more than like 4 hours into a solo like world or save game, I guess. I just every time I play it, I'll play it for like an hour this day, an hour that day, and then I'll stop and I'll look, and the total time is always like 4 hours per save that I start. So it's been fun to dive in with a friend though, and check it out in the multiplayer.
Yeah, I put a little time into that game. Not a whole lot. It's the same thing that you said. I never played it with anyone, so it was always like, okay, well, I put a couple hours in. I don't really want to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the reason I said it was good that you were playing Skyrim this weekend was because there's actually a piece of news that came out recently that Phil Spencer said that Elder Scrolls 6 is still 5 years out.
Who's that?
Phil Spencer is the head of Xbox, and Xbox owns Bethesda now.
Yep.
So, 5 years out. The announcement trailer is 5 years old. So, that seems like a little bit of a boneheaded move to announce a game that's in a series that's probably pretty obviously going to get a sequel. You know?
Yeah.
5 years from here, when it still has 5 more years to go. So, you really announced this game 10 years before it would come out. You probably hadn't even started working on anything beyond pre-production at that point.
Yeah. I think overall, the making of the next Elder Scrolls game, or at least what we know of it and what we've seen and stuff, is kind of strange, kind of weird how they've done everything. I will say though, like, I don't know, I'm keeping an open mind, because regardless of whatever dipshit moves they pull with it, either way, I feel like you could be pretty confident in saying that it's going to come out, and it's, as long as it's what we have been, I guess, well, maybe not though. I was going to say as long as it's what we were promised, but I don't even necessarily know that we were promised anything. As long as it's what we're all hoping it would be, I guess, which is Skyrim 2 pretty much, then I think it's going to be a banger of a game.
Well, that's why I want to look at it from like the PR perspective, or the hype perspective. Why would you announce a game 10 years before it's going to be ready in a game series? You know, like the last numbered Elder Scrolls game was Skyrim. and that was still number 5. Like, it's
Yep.
pretty safe to say with the success of Skyrim and the fact that it was already a franchise going into Skyrim that there's gonna be a sequel at some point. So why would you announce so early?
I wonder if it's just for like building the hype even more, because I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's fair to say like it's obvious. It was always obvious that there would be another game, but I think, yeah, just to build the hype even more and like confirm it for people without actually throwing anything together at a point.
But how did that go for No Man's Sky? How did that go for Cyberpunk?
Right.
Building
Well,
hype.
right. I mean, I guess the difference is what the company, how, not necessarily how the company does it, but I guess the difference is what the company's product actually is. I think the difference is because I guess you can't necessarily blame like them showing the game or announcing it so many years prior to equal bad game. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. But if what I'm getting at is, if you're 10 years out on a series that is probably pretty obviously going to get a sequel, maybe your what you should be focusing on isn't building hype. It should be much more focused on making sure that when it becomes time to get into a release window, that there is reason for people to be hyped.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, really make sure that that Elder Scrolls 6 is the solid foundation to build upon for a Skyrim successor. I was going to say post-cessor, but that's not right. And just know that the hype's going to be there regardless, you know?
Right. Well, I think that all kind of falls back to Bethesda becoming a greedy monster, honestly. Like looking at their previous titles of Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online, both with premium subscriptions and paid parts. I think I think that all goes with them just becoming this absolute unit of a greed monster.
Well, the other interesting part about it to me is that, like, obviously Starfield is being made by the main heavy lifters of production in Bethesda, you know? Like, obviously that team is taken up right now doing Starfield. And they were doing that 5 years ago. So, like, what progress has been made for actual production in these past 5 years? And what's the benefit of doing that 5 years ago versus today when you're getting ready to ship Starfield and your main team is you're getting ready to move on to a new project?
Right.
I don't know. I think it's just interesting to speculate on for.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I couldn't tell you why they did it, nor can I imagine anyone else.
Tell me what Todd was thinking.
I know, that's the thing. It's very strange. I absolutely agree. It's very weird that they did this, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it almost goes with like, I don't know. Bethesda falls in line with like Rockstar Games for me on how they've been handling like this next gen, or not even next gen at this point, but this the next title, I guess is what I'm getting at. It's very funny because
they've both been clinging to life of their last title.
Right, exactly, and yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird.
Yeah. Have you seen that DLC for Cyberpunk?
Phantom Liberty?
Yeah, have you checked that out?
Saw a little bit about it when they kind of like talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago at Summer Games Fest.
Yep.
Not interested.
No, I have. I was actually asking because I purposefully haven't watched anything about it because I didn't care, so I didn't know if you had seen stuff.
I think what was really happening there was you were hoping I was really interested, so you could just like kick sand in my face.
Yeah, I just wanted to really get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think there's a DLC they could possibly make that would get me back in that game.
No, I don't think so.
I go through periods of time where I think like maybe I should just give Cyberpunk another chance, but I can't. I can't do it. Every time I go to boot up the game now, I instantly feel regret and just immediately delete it.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I feel like we've talked so much about Cyberpunk on this podcast, and it's, in a way, it's interesting that like 2.5 years later, it still has this cultural impact as something that we want to be better than it is.
Well, I think that goes with what we were talking about with Bethesda. Like they hyped it up for so long, and like even leading up to the game coming out, like it was just such a big deal. And like, man, I remember being in school and seeing Cyberpunk, like not official obviously, but like themed backgrounds on people's computers and stuff because they were excited for that game. And then it came out, and God, I've never seen backlash as strong as Cyberpunk's ever in my time of gaming and being into like gaming news and stuff. I've never seen something so hated, I guess, or not even hated. I think I've never seen such a level of people feeling betrayed.
We weren't mad, we were just disappointed.
Right, yeah. I think everybody was a little bit of an upset parent at that point, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, Caleb, I want to ask you to take a guess at what year they announced Cyberpunk 2077.
Man, I don't even see. This is. I feel like it was announced before I was ever paying attention to it, because I got into it right as like, well, I don't know. I guess I would have gotten into it a few years before it released, because it came out around like 2020, right?
It came out in 2020, correct? I believe the December of that year.
Okay, so I had to have been seeing it 2 years prior, but
okay.
But I'm assuming it was announced earlier than that. I am going to say, let's say 2017.
So what I can find on GameRant.com, in case I'm wrong, citing my sources. I
went too high, but go for it. Hit me.
The Witcher 2 just wrapped up with its enhanced edition.
The Witcher 2?
And CD Projekt Red announced that the studio moved on to something new. It was different from the Witcher series, and they released a vague and enticing trailer in 2013.
2013. Okay, yeah, I knew when I said 2017 I was still too new, but I didn't. Here's the thing: I didn't want to go super low because I feel like to say that it came out around 2011, the same time at Skyrim, like to say that felt too early for me. Yeah, I would have never guessed 2013. That's wild.
And it was, I believe it was 2019 when they actually had Keanu Reeves, or could it have been 2019? Man, it seems like that was longer ago. Anyway, I'm getting sucked down a rabbit hole. To first announce a project in 2013 for it to release in 2020 is crazy. But I feel like that's becoming more the norm lately. I've seen a couple of things lately talking about the way that games are, the development side of games is just like ballooning because hardware is getting able to do more things, but it's not getting quicker to make these big AAA experiences with all this detail, you know?
Right.
So I feel like in general, Cyberpunk may have been ahead of the curve in being very long in the development pipeline.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm not one to necessarily believe like longer development equals better game necessarily. I mean, I guess it does in some way, but like I don't know. I do kind of agree with like, listen, if a game company needs time to put out a quality product, I'm on board with that.
The problem is when the game company takes more time and doesn't put out a better product.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, Witcher 4 can't wait.
I know. That'll be a good time.
So I really learned my lesson.
Yeah. You know, it is funny though, like there are some things about Cyberpunk that, like, just as an example, that, like, I would have thought would have been more broken than, like, it actually came out. Like, it's funny what things in games that come out broken nowadays. It's funny what things come out broken and what things come out, like, fully functioning and perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, again, just using Cyberpunk as an example, like, I remember, like, playing it for the first time, and, like, story-wise, I thought it was really interesting, and, like, all of the I guess you can't really call them cutscenes, but, like, all of the movement and stuff of characters during like gameplay scenes and stuff felt pretty convincing and cool to me. And it's funny that, like, stuff like that looked flawless, but then you have, like, cars spiraling into space.
It's those dang physics systems, where physics systems have to do something, trouble is brewing. I wanted to use a different analogy, but I completely came up blank, so I really just had to, like, go on the fly there.
Well, you remember how like Roach would just kind of, like, spawn on houses sometimes?
No, I think I was in after that.
Oh, okay.
I was a late Witcher adopter.
It did happen. They made a Gwent card for it because
I love it. That's so good.
See, that's the other thing too. If a company can lean into their blunders and kind of make a joke out of it,
chuckle it up a little bit.
Yeah, it makes it so much better because it's acknowledging, like, oh yeah, we fucked up, or not even that they fucked up necessarily, but that there's an issue that maybe they just didn't know about, you know?
Sure.
And so it's cool when companies can, like, look at things like that and say, like, oh yeah, our mistake. Same thing. I can't even tell you what I'm trying to think of right now, but I swear there's some game where a character, you could play as a character, but the character was actually, like, an error, and then that character ended up being put into the game afterwards.
That's Pokemon, Caleb.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I can't remember the exact...
is it actually a Pokemon game?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wow.
Pokemon. I can't think of the name of it, but let me just look up error character and see what happens.
Yeah. Because I couldn't tell you what I'm thinking of, but I swear I've heard of something like that, and I just think things like that are super fun.
Interesting. I can't find information as quickly as I need to. And that's what we're learning today.
Interesting. I have nothing
I
to
have
add to
nothing
this.
here. Missing no is what it's called on Bulba Garden, which is apparently the Pokemon Wikipedia.
Okay.
I thought they did lean into it and just, like, it was part of the games at one point, but
yeah.
Anyway,
tell you.
So Caleb, I played a game that we recently. Oh wait, actually, I dropped a hint for this one last week. I dropped a hint for this one next week.
Nice.
Last week I dropped a little hint about what I was going to talk about, and I said that it was a game that I kind of changed heart on a little bit. That game was Borderlands 3.
Oh yes, yep.
The Borderlands 3 icon called me when I was just, like, scrolling through my owned games on Xbox last week, and we'd recently kind of critiqued it. Yep. So I downloaded it and jumped back in, and I am here to say that I was wrong in some aspects. Borderlands 3 has great gunplay. I think that's one of the staples of the series, but I think it's even more refined in this game. I think it's very smooth and very fun. Like, the guns are cool and unique as well, and, like, reloading's always fun. The looting and progression loops, strong as ever. And I think if you jump into this game just seeking, like, gun battles and finding loot and leveling up, it's a lot of fun. But I did identify a couple places where I felt like the game was different and worse than before. And the biggest thing to me was pacing. And I feel like I first started noticing this when I played Borderlands the pre-sequel. The pacing was kind of starting to get off a little bit. I found myself getting fed up with all the time spent between like the fun parts of the game, you know, the shooting and the finding new loot. And I think especially in the main story missions of this game, Gearbox has lost their way to a certain extent. They've made the map bigger, so you have more downtime traveling places, and they make you do these like mindless story beats where you have to like inch along with the main characters while they're going around and doing things that they don't need to be with you while they're doing. You know, like carrying a map from one place to another. And
Interesting.
to me, that's not really gameplay. That's like you're just kind of wasting time. For some reason, I think those pacing issues are really highlighted as messing with the flow of the game because the writing doesn't carry this game as well as the other or the first two games did. I don't think the Borderlands writing was ever great, but I think that the first and second games' dialogue was written better, and the pacing kind of kept the dialogue a little less annoying. It's kind of a double, not a double-edged sword, but like it's kind of like circular because I think the pacing was a little bit better in the first two games, and that made the writing a little more tolerable. And because the writing was a little more tolerable, where the pacing wasn't good, they kind of lifted each other up in ways, you know?
Yep.
But those games are 10 plus years ago now. They've been out for a while, and I think as time has gone on, the humor has kind of fallen out of vogue. I think this game would have benefited from the writers trying to evolve the style of humor in the game instead of just continuing to write the same jokes from 2009. I even did look into like if it was like just a completely different writing team to kind of see if like maybe, you know, they were trying to take the style from the writer of the first two games, but it didn't really the writing team changed from game to game anyway, so I don't think you can really just write it off as like a writing team that just didn't really fully grasp what was going on. But if I'm Gearbox, I'm looking for Borderlands 4 to give the series its God of War 2018 moment. You know, I need it to mature in some ways. I'm not looking for it to just drop all humor, but we need to think what humor is relevant in
More
the modern
claptrap.
day. More claptrap.
More claptrap. That's all it needs.
I'm not gonna lie, I love the little guy.
Claptrap's fucking great. All right, if he is the best part of Borderlands, and I'll fight anyone on that. All right,
I'll be honest,
robot
Caleb.
man. Yeah,
He's great.
yeah.
Maybe less claptrap.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
No, I'm offended you would say that. I'm hurt, and quite frankly, I'm filing for divorce.
With our 20-week-old son?
With our 20-week-old son. And I'm fighting for custody.
Fighting? Is like, can we like not do court battles? Can we do like pistols at dawn?
Yeah, come on. This is a challenge of honor, really.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think Borderlands needs to kind of rethink is what they want the main antagonist of the game to be. Handsome Jack worked one time, and they used him for 3 games. He worked one time in Borderlands 2. Pre-sequel wasn't that good. The Tales from the Borderlands, arguably better, but I don't think that was the Gearbox writing team. I think that was, Caleb, help me.
Claptrap.
No, the you love these games. Telltale.
Telltale. Oh,
Telltale.
yeah.
I think Telltale wrote Handsome Jack good in Tales from the Borderlands. So really, they went to the well twice in 2 Gearbox games with Handsome Jack. Worked once. Borderlands 3, the new set of antagonists are just like, how can we reskin an antagonist that's always in your ear and like being funny and quirky, and like it just, you did it once, it's not going to keep working. You need to figure out a different formula for an antagonist.
Yeah, I've never played the Borderlands games with story in mind, which to some degree I almost wonder if that's part of the intention too, is to play it with friends and
oh, for sure,
and kind of Yeah.
But they make it as an experience that at least ostensibly looks like it can be played either way.
Oh yeah,
They put resources into the story. I just think I don't need it to be Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't need it to be Last of Us. But if you're gonna put a story in front of, if you're gonna put an attempt at a story across the plate, then you gotta at least try and mix it up and make it a little interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But to wrap it up, I really am like a huge fan of the game mechanics in this game. It does exactly what I want in video games, where I get to like go to these different places, level up, have some form of like achievement when I set the controller down. I just wish that they would take a couple of risks and make a game that kind of strays from what they have made to this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think and to some degree too, like I'm sure I could jump back into a Borderlands game with friends and it would still be fun, but yeah, I definitely agree. Solo, I think the game kind of lacks in a lot of things, yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's a bummer because I think the bones are good. It's got
good
bones.
Good bones.
Mm-hmm.
Good bones. Speaking of bones, let me crack open a bottle of some bone juice. All right, Greg. Ready your ears.
That was crisp.
How was that, Greg?
That was crisp. Oh, that was too much.
That was too much.
Was too much.
That was too much. Yeah, it really popped more than I thought it would.
Yep.
Greg,
Notes for next time, Kill.
Notes for next time.
Do the close to mic, pull it away, get the crack.
Greg, would you believe me if I told you I actually had it pulled away for both?
More.
I guess. I was leaned back and everything.
We'll make a Foley artist out of you yet.
Greg, I have here, okay, to put the pint in our pint and click name here. I have a fun little drink that I'd like to share with you, Greg.
Okay. Oh, the sip noise was bad.
The sip noise was bad.
I'm gonna have to leave. That's my only joke today. Threatening leaving.
So, Greg, I'm drinking a twisted tea.
I'm sorry?
A twisted tea.
No, I heard you. I'm sorry.
I tell you what, it's not the best, but it is a nice little treat on a hot summer day, even though it is pouring rain outside. It is not hot out.
It's not raining here.
Hey, that's good. It's a nice summer treat somewhere. Isn't that what they say?
That is the slogan. Happy hour. It's a nice summer treat somewhere.
Gotta say, pretty tasty.
Okay.
Pretty tasty. I wanted something something fun to sip while we did our little pod to really emphasize the pint in our name again. We're losing our way, Greg.
We're losing our pint.
We're losing the pint.
I've had on my to pull the curtain back. I've had on my preparation for the podcast note that I keep every week.
Yeah.
I've had Refreshment Roundup on there for 2 weeks in a row. To bring it back. Bring back my segment that you've taken from me.
I have. Fucking do it then, bud.
So, but each time I just haven't gotten anything to drink that's been worthy of rounding up.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you there. It also doesn't help that I'm a man of habit. So if I get drinks for a good couple times I buy a drink, it'll probably be the same thing too. So yeah, no, I definitely feel you there. I haven't had anything good to do a little roundup with, but I tell you what, have a little twisted tea here. And
are you just doing the original flavor?
Yeah, it's just the original.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you getting any notes of anything in there?
Notes of tea and little twist.
Oh, a little twist. We like it.
A little twist. Now, Greg, you know how this works. We like to pair our drinks with our games.
Well, hold on.
Oh, okay.
As the originator of this segment,
Yeah.
please let me keep it in order here.
Oh, okay, of course. My bad.
You know that we review these drinks on a scale
Of 1 to 5 Gregs.
The scale is 0 to 100, Caleb. No decimals.
No decimals. I'm gonna give it about an 8.7.
8?
Oh. No, I'm kidding.
0.7.
I gotta say, out of 100, you know what? This is probably okay. Because here's the thing, right? Like I feel like this drink gets a somewhat bad rap, you know. But all in all, like I could picture myself, nice hot summer day. You know, my lawnmower's got a cup holder. I could picture myself whacking the grass with one of these and that bad Larry.
Yep.
So I gotta say, I'm gonna give this like an 85.
Wow.
If I'm being honest.
Wow.
Because it's a delightful little hot summer treat. If I'm being honest here, it's not anything fancy, but you don't need fancy when you're out mowing the grass. You're just sweating balls out there. You need something fun to sip.
Now, paint the picture for me, Caleb. Are you talking a push mower or are you talking a ride mower?
Craig, what kind of man do you take me for? I'm talking a riding mower with a cup holder built in next to the seat. Not even a metal stick-on cup holder. This shit's built into the mower. The people that made it planned on you having a nice lawn beer while you mow.
Caleb, you're describing the American dream.
You get a couple grass clippings in there, but that's what makes the hair grow, you know?
That is not what makes the hair grow, scientifically speaking.
Just your daily dose.
Your daily dose of grass.
Yeah, so you know what? Yeah, I got to give it a somewhat high rating, a pretty high rating here, because it's a pretty delightful summer beverage for a hot day of mowing the grass.
Now let me ask you, Caleb.
Okay.
If you had to pair this twisted tea, this beverage, with a video game, what are you pairing it with?
Greg, I'm glad you asked. I want to set the scene for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Please do.
Okay. Greg, close your eyes for me.
Yep.
Okay. Imagine you're in a nice, comfortable seat. Okay. Imagine you have the sun shining down on you. All right. It's kind of hidden the front of your face. Imagine there's a breeze to your left and a slight breeze to your right. Now I know what you're thinking, Greg. What's going on here? Am I flying a plane or something? No, Greg. You're living the American dream. You're in a big rig. You're in a fucking truck. You got one hand, you got one arm out the window on the side of the door. You're cruising. There's a nice breeze tickling you. All of a sudden you remember, shit, I gotta make it to Tallahassee in 3 days. I got some cargo to deliver. So what do? You blast some Skynyrd. You really pull down on the... really push down on the gas and you give it some. And then I tell you what, Greg, you arrive at a warehouse just in time to deliver your assortment of metal spoons that you've been carrying in the back of your big rig. Greg, do you feel a sense of pride? A sense of accomplishment? Maybe you're thinking, oh, okay, that's it. This is over. It's not over, Greg. The boss man of the business walks up to you and he says, you did a good job, son. What does he hand you? It's a twisted tea.
Okay, hold on.
Mind blown.
Okay.
It's Truck Simulator.
So what you're describing, did you say that you had the twisted tea while you're delivering?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
No. The boss man hands it to you after a job well done.
Okay, now I'm on board, Caleb.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm on board.
Uh-huh.
That's good. Have you gotten your rear view mirror for your wheel setup yet, so you can hang a tree?
Yeah, of course. I've got my my car door that is just sitting in the middle of a room, so I can hang my arm out too.
And it's just a little too hot, and so you're kind of like sizzling your forearm skin while you're doing it. You really got the whole like realism down.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep,
so, Greg, that's the perfect day. That's the perfect summer day to end a Twisted Tea with.
I would agree.
Now, if you were driving the truck and drinking something, then it would probably be Pabst Blue Ribbon. But
Pabst Blue Ribbon, the official road soda of truckers everywhere. Oh my god!
But for a job well done, that's a Twisted Tea, baby.
Now, Caleb, we mentioned mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
What I want to ask you, and I specifically came to this podcast with this question this week.
Okay.
What are your favorite yard games, Caleb?
Yard games.
Yard games. I'm talking horseshoes. I'm talking.
Okay. I wanted to make sure we're on
darts.
the same page. Yeah. Had to get a nice sip in.
Yeah, of course, naturally.
I had to channel the lawn. I went outside and I plucked
Ate some grass.
I was just gonna say I plucked some grass and dropped it in. Gives it some flavor.
Yes.
Lawn games. I gotta tell you, I think it's pretty fitting for the Twisted Tea. I'm not here. Okay, first off, I want to specify I'm not a big lawn game guy myself. All right. I'm yet to start having cookouts at my house, but when I do, that'll change. But as of right now, not a big lawn game man myself. But I've discovered cornhole, kind of fun.
Love me some cornhole, Caleb.
It's kind of fun.
Cornhole was my answer. I love cornhole.
It's pretty good. We recently played it at a restaurant we went to. Had a little like outdoor seating section with some cornhole, and we played cornhole while waiting for our food. And knowing that right after the game, I'd be chowing down on a big ass greasy burger, it made cornhole all that much more enjoyable. So,
Caleb, the adjectives you use to describe things: big ass greasy burger.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure some of those aren't adjectives, but I'll keep going.
Hey, it was a big-ass, greasy burger, you know?
I'm a big yard game guy, Caleb.
Are you now?
I love cornhole. I get down with some wiffle ball.
Oh, yeah, that is a classic. I do like horseshoe, too.
Horseshoe's good.
We've played horseshoes before. I think you've played some horseshoes.
Caleb, I would never play horseshoes with you in my entire life.
Are you sure?
I would not do it.
Wow, because back at the old house, we used to have a little horseshoe thing.
That may have happened, but I'm going to stick to my guns. I would never play horseshoes with you, Caleb.
Yeah, well.
So the whole reason I brought it up was because I wanted to talk about cornhole and how much I love it.
Yeah, that's the next video game you've been playing is Cornhole Champion 2023.
Cornhole Simulator. That's a different game.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Egg on my face on that one.
Oh, shit.
I got nothing, Caleb. I just wanted to end it with Cornhole Simulator.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, couple quick things here. Greg, coming out on Friday, new Indiana Jones movie, which is why I did that little intro. You gonna go see it, Greg?
Probably not.
Okay.
No,
never mind. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Yes, and?
Yeah. I tell you what, just like Star Wars, this is one of those movies where I feel like it's going to be such a cool thing to get to see it in theaters.
Yeah.
Especially knowing that this is going to be one of Harrison Ford's last movies. Like, it's got to be. All right. I don't even know if they've been saying that about it. I'm just assuming.
Caleb has been.
Old. Yeah.
Caleb has made the decision that after this movie, he is going to hunt Harrison Ford for sport.
And I'm just going to say, hey, you're done. Come on, sit down. That's it. But, yeah, I'm going to go see it. I plan on seeing it on Friday. I'm going to get some tickets in advance here and try to see it opening day because I think what a special occasion that'll be. I'm a big Jones fan over here, you know.
You're jonesing.
I'm jonesing.
Yep. Definitely.
So, yeah.
I have nothing on my radar for movies coming out in the coming months.
You liked the Spider-Man movies, didn't you?
I would like to see Across the Spider-Verse.
Yep.
But it's 3 hours long, and that's a home movie.
Yeah.
That's a movie that once you get over 2 hours, you might get me for 2 hours, 15 minutes in the theater. But if you start talking 3 hours, that's a couch movie.
Yeah, I feel that one.
So I'm waiting for it to come to a couch near me.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of a couch movie man myself.
It's nice.
It's nice, and I like being in my own home. I like being able to pause when I want something. But I tell you what, for us Jones heads, we know the movie by the name Jonestown.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
So when it comes to going to Jonestown, got to be in the theaters for that.
I'd assume that no, I can't. Screw it. I'd assume that Friday there's going to be a massacre in Jonestown.
Oh, you mean because Harrison Ford's going to kill it? Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'll drink the Kool-Aid. Was that the same thing? Was that the same event?
Yeah. You're right. You're on it,
Greg.
Okay. Yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to say about like being a couch movie guy, is that it makes going to the movies even better. I feel like. Yeah,
absolutely.
Because it's not an experience that you do all the time.
Right. Then it's a special little treat.
It's a special little treat, like salami for a cat. They can have it once in a while.
Only once in a while, though. Don't give it too much salami.
Not too much.
Not
too much.
Just a little.
Salami for the cats.
Oh, man. What a good 18th episode this has been.
It's been an 18th episode, Caleb.
It really has.
Yeah,
it really has.
My goal for the week is to play more video games.
My goal for the week is to finish, because I've started tonight, and by started I mean I moved a bookcase up there, and that's it. But my goal for this upcoming week is to have my little recording studio upstairs all built up.
Nice.
So we'll see how that goes.
I can't wait to record in it.
I can't wait.
Caleb, episode 20. I just had an idea.
Okay.
Swap houses.
Swap recording spaces.
Yes.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
One episode only. I go to your house. You come to my apartment.
Yep.
Make it happen.
Yeah, I like this. This is what's happening now. This is the idea.
Disclaimer: it's probably not what's happening now.
It'll also be a refreshment roundup episode where our drink is whatever we find in the other person's house.
And I'm Caleb, and I'm drinking 3 weeks spoiled oat milk.
I would pair this with a game that's slightly spoiled, Cyberpunk.
I'm Greg, and I'm drinking soy milk. No, soy sauce.
There you go.
But it's a choice. There's other things in Caleb's fridge.
Greg, what kind of milkman do you take me for? Soy milk?
No, soy sauce.
I'm drinking that whole milk every day.
Good.
All night.
Those growing bones need it, Caleb.
You know what I put in this twisted tea?
Milk.
Grass and whole milk.
Yeah, I'm something of a bartender.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I thought it was just make your own tea. So I put in some grass, some tea leaves, if you will. Some milk.
Caleb, you don't know the recipe for tea.
I boiled it. And I think I have tea now.
You've done it?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, Caleb.
Thank you. I'm proud of myself.
Oh, you know what comes out tomorrow?
What's that?
A Wonderful Life.
Oh, wow.
Story of Seasons, a.k.a. Harvest Moon game.
Nice.
I'm an excited boy about that one.
Now, Greg, if I ever had to compare... if I ever had to do a refreshment roundup on whole milk, it'd probably be that game.
I don't think so.
Gives me those farming vibes, yeah.
Ugh, Caleb.
Suckling.
Oh, you can't pause there. You can't pause there.
Harvest Moon. Very cool. Very cool.
Oh, one thing of one little housekeeping note.
Okay.
Before we wrap up.
Yeah.
The Pint and Click podcast now has video episodes on YouTube.
We do.
17 and back. So every episode before episode 17 are out now. They are only in 480p because I'm still learning how to export in Premiere Pro.
And another pro tip here too. Not only do we have that, we also have an email address.
Greg@pintandclick.com.
Send us your thoughts.
Talk to me.
Send us something. Give us a complaint. Tell us that we're doing bad.
Sometimes
we need to hear it.
Yep. In the next week or two, we should have a pintandclick.com website up and going. I'm actively working on that right now. But give me time because college classes also just started. So
Greg is still a studying boy.
I am still studying to be a man of knowledge.
A man of knowledge. He's going for his degree in literature.
I knew it was coming. There was no world in where that wasn't happening right there. Anyway, thank you to our sponsor this week, the University of Literature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
UOC.
I don't like that that's now something that's in my voice in the world.
I can't wait until we start making merchandise that's just a college sweatshirt that says University of Literature. Oh, man.
Yep.
You wait.
Just you wait.
Yep.
Well, Caleb?
Yeah.
What do you say we send this one off to the old processing plant?
I say let's send them to the ranch.
Yep. Thank you all for listening. This has been episode 18 of the Pint and Click podcast. Like Caleb said, we do have an email address. Let us know what you're playing, your thoughts on Borderlands 3, why Cyberpunk disappointed you.
And let me know what kind of grass you put in your Twisted Tea.
Yes, all of that and more. Send it to greg@pintandclick.com. Like I said, we have videos now on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like. That's just Pint and Click, no podcast, because who knows if videos will ever come out that aren't podcast related.
Yep.
If you like the episode, tell a friend, like, comment, subscribe. That's YouTube.
Yep.
And I hope you all enjoyed. Caleb, did you enjoy? That's really what's important.
Yeah. I would say I've had a fulfilling employment here.
Mm-hmm. Rate your enjoyment of this episode on a scale from 1 to 100, no decimals, please.
I'm going to say a 70.5.
Caleb, God. I'm going to print the rules out at some point and with examples of what a decimal is and what it isn't.
Yeah.
Just tack it to right above your computer.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for listening, everyone. Enjoy the week, play some games, and we'll talk to you next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.